Hello Weight Loss Stories, my name is Justin Weber. I wanted to talk a little bit today about some of the start and stop lessons that I learned during my weight loss journey. You can catch more of my story in a previous video, but for today I just want to talk a little bit about some of those things that I learned throughout my 175-pound weight loss. So the first thing, and these are really not in any kind of particular order, is that I stopped seeing any kind of progress as a number on the scale. The scale can really dominate your life during your weight loss journey, and I started looking for things that I could do instead of just looking at that number and tracking my progress based on, am I going up or down a pound, if I lost a pound, if I lost 20 pounds, whatever. But I started seeing some of those non-scale victories, the things like changes in clothing size, or going places that I normally wouldn't fit, like a booth at a restaurant. It's a huge non-scale victory. So to see some of those versus tracking your progress solely on, is that number going down? Because some days it will, and some days it won't, and some weeks and some months it's going to stay kind of in the same spot. Another one is I stopped comparing my journey to the journey of others. It's really easy to do this, especially on Instagram and social media, is that you see these really dramatic weight loss stories and the side-by-sides, and then you look at your own progress and see that maybe you haven't come that far yet. But something that I started to do was realize that those people started somewhere, and I wanted to show off the journey that I was on and to show off some of the pride that I had throughout my journey. So the first time that I shared a after picture, I guess, was when I had hit 300 pounds. So I started at close to 400. When I got down to 3, I was feeling pretty good about myself, and I wanted to show that off. And it terrified me to openly share myself and be vulnerable in that way, and to say I am on a weight loss journey. So that was the first time that I really admitted that to anybody. But it was sharing a moment of pride, and that really helped me to stay motivated, and not necessarily showing off to others the progress that I was making or the journey that I was on, but really kind of showing off to myself and to see I am making a change in my life, and I should be proud of this. So I had to remind myself that I did need to be proud of my journey. Didn't matter where I was, doesn't matter where you are on your journey. You could be just starting out, but you need to be positive and proud about the journey that you're on, because you are making a positive change in your life. Another thing that I stopped doing was blaming other things for causing my weight. I started seeing that there were things that I needed to do to change my habits and my mindset. And it's really easy, even now, to blame things on stress. You can make excuses and say, I am overeating because I'm stressed out, or I'm not eating well, or I'm not exercising because I am stressed, or something is happening in my life, or there's the holidays. The holidays just came. I overate because of that, and that must be, what's going on, or you get hurt or you get sick. So one thing I stopped doing then is I just stopped looking for those excuses and started really reflecting on my own journey and reflecting on what I could be doing instead, or the things that I could control, because it doesn't matter what's going on. There's a lot that you're going to not be able to control throughout your life. So start looking for things that you can't control. I stopped seeing setbacks as an end to my progress. It took me about 2 years to lose 175 pounds. It takes a while. There's a lot of plateaus that happen throughout that time. A lot of times where progress in terms of weight loss just stalled for weeks or even months at a time, and that is really, really discouraging when that happens. So when that happened, and this is something I kind of learned throughout my weight loss journey, is I started reflecting then on the choices that I had been making, and I started looking for different patterns, either patterns of what I was eating or patterns of movement. Was I tracking? So I used the app Lose It, to just track what I was eating and my movement. And part of that reflection was, am I tracking accurately? Am I kind of fudging the numbers so I can like eat more peanut butter or whatever? But so that was part of it. Was I getting enough sleep? Was I staying up too late, getting up too early? Could that be a cause of a plateau? Was I doing the same like fitness routine or the same exercise over and over and over again, and was my body just getting used to it? Or were there other things that I needed to change? So setbacks, they happen, and they happen often. Whether you plateau or you put some weight back on, it happens to everybody. And your weight loss journey, if you're starting like I was, close to 400 pounds, it's not just a nice downward slope to your goal weight. It's up and down and all over the place. I stopped viewing food as the problem, and I started seeing food as the solution. You need food, you need it to live. So part of the reflecting that I did throughout my weight loss was, what am I eating? And what kinds of food was I eating? What I had been consuming was a lot of pleasure food, things that are high in sodium, high in fat, high in sugar, things that you eat it and like initially you feel pretty good. That bag of chips, you eat it and you're like, yeah, that was pretty awesome. But then afterwards, that's when you start maybe feeling like I did and I do, maybe ashamed of that food choice, or like physically you don't feel well, or you eat all of that, 1,000 to 1,500 calorie bag of chips and you're not even full. So there's nothing wrong with having some of the pleasure food, ice cream, chips, cake, any of that. But how often are you eating it, and how much of it are you eating? So at my heaviest, I was consuming probably about 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day, and a lot of it was that pleasure food, the soda, the pizza, the donuts, and it was every single day. So food wasn't the problem, it was my food choices that I needed to change, and the food choices that I needed to develop new habits for. I got two things left. One was I stopped feeling alone in my journey, and I started joining different support communities like Weight Loss Stories. Seeing other people's journeys, reading the stories, reading the struggles that they're going on really encouraged me to open up and to become honest with others and honest with myself. And then cheering other people on also helped me to feel better about my own story. Is that act of giving back helped me to feel more positive and to develop a positive mindset about myself, my body image, self-image, all of it. And it really helped me to just understand myself better. And I reflected more and saw what I needed to be healthy, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. And then the last thing, and this is why I'm sitting in my office right now in my work clothes, was I stopped dressing to try to hide myself. And I started dressing how I had always wanted to. Do I feel entirely confident wearing fitted clothing? No, I do not. I see the flaws in the mirror. But at my heaviest, I wanted to dress how I do now. But there's two things that had stopped me really. One was I didn't fit into a lot of these clothes, like I call them white wall stores, where you walk in and the walls are all just white, like Gap, Banana Republic, all those. They didn't have a 5 extra large, big and tall, so couldn't shop there, couldn't dress like that. And then B, I was too worried about what other people thought. So throughout my weight loss journey, it wasn't that I lost 175 pounds and then I started to, dress how I wanted to dress. It was throughout I realized that was a big motivator. That was something that could keep me on track and to keep me consistent in my weight loss goals. So I started to put more pride into how I dressed, both professionally as well as casually, and it did, I felt, help me to feel better about myself. It helped me to develop more confidence, to develop a positive mindset about my own body image and my self-image, and now I like it. So Thanks for going through this with me. And again, think of your own list maybe of what you could or should stop, and what are some different things that you could start based on that reflection as well. So thank you. Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Keith. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure you click the like button below. If you're new here, please make sure you click the subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Be sure to check out the entire Weight Loss Stories community at weightlossstories.com/map, or just click on the link in our Instagram bio. Thank you again.